Every player in a team has a role, and no matter how large or small it may seem, each contributes in some shape or form. For Brandon Dubinsky, his role aside from putting up points is to get under the opposing player's skin, more often than not. And when up against Penguins star Sidney Crosby, you best believe that this Alaska native is bringing his best chirp game with him, as the two forwards have been going back and forth for almost a decade, and have formed a rivalry that's involved countless scrums, hits, and even suspensions. And with that, here's the history of one of the fiercest rivalries known today. It's the last regular season meeting between the Rangers and the Penguins in New York City, two teams that have been less than friendly over the years, for more reasons than one. And the night of March 4th, 9 years ago, was no exception. After Lundqvist accused the Penguins captain of diving behind the net, Crosby didn't take it lightly and decided to take a jab at the King. End result, Dubinsky, who was playing for the Rangers at the time, came in quickly to his goaltender's aid by jumping Sid post-whistle. The two were quickly broken up by officials, but not before the forwards had a few words, which were far from friendly. Following the latest match between the two clubs the day before, the Rangers forward was questioned about his take on the interference call on Callahan. The penalty was called after Crosby became tangled up with the forward and both dropped to the ice in result. Dubinsky gave a not-so-favorable interpretation of Crosby, saying, "It's a dirty play. That's the type of guy he is, and he tries to get away with all of that kind of nonsense and complains a lot." Despite the fact that Dubinsky was now playing for a different team, the rivalry between him and the Cole Harbour native would remain ignited, as the two teams had met previously in the postseason the year before and would meet for the second time since. The two could be shown going into the end boards behind the play, and not long after, it was halted, as Crosby took no exception to the check Dubinsky dealt following the puck being cleared and decided to show his frustration. The forwards could be shown dropping the gloves and each getting a few jabs in before toppling down to the ice. Not long after the pair engaged in fisticuffs, the mutual distaste quickly came to its head. After some shoving back and forth in front of the net between the two, Crosby could be shown dropping instantly to the ice after being struck by Dubinsky's stick, which hit him so hard that it literally broke in half. The captain could be shown holding his head while he was struck again by the same perpetrator. The act itself sent Crosby to the dressing room and Dubinsky to the penalty box. But this wasn't the end of all repercussions, as Dubinsky was suspended a game and made to forfeit more than $34,000 in results. Crosby, who was later questioned after the game following the incident, made his stance on Dubinsky known, saying, "I'm not surprised. If I was going to get one of those shots, it would probably be from him." In conclusion, I think it can be easily said that the more these two see of each other, the worse it seems to get, as Dubinsky has found a way to be the thorn in Crosby's side every time their teams face each other. And I'm sure you can agree that it's definitely made things more interesting, especially come playoffs time. Seeing these two relentlessly hacking and whacking at one another brings an old school feel to the game, and it's quite refreshing. And as inevitable as it is, I'm sure we'll have the treat of seeing these two butt heads once again in the postseason.